Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I just got home from doing my 25th chemo session. I got there at like 9 this morning, didn't get out until 12:30. Guess they were waiting on my blood test results from last week. They didn't get them, so they had to call the lab and confirm that I did my test and that everything's fine for me to do the chemo. So I was there an extra hour waiting in the back room. But the good thing is they shot me up with some Benadryl, and that gets me tired and it caused me to go to sleep. So I passed out and woke up around 11:30, I think it was. So yeah, today's the 25th chemo session. I've been waiting on this whole ordeal about going back to work, and finally I got an email today, and so I already knew that there was drugs in my system because I'm prescribed drugs, you know what I mean? So when I went to go do my drug test to go back to work, like 2 weeks ago, I took my prescription bottles with me. I showed them, look at, this is what I'm on, this is what's gonna be in my blood, in my urine test and shit. Okay, no problem. So they put all that information. So then they finally sent me an email today saying, hey, you gotta call the people that did your blood work, they need to talk to you, or your urine sample, they need to talk to you. So I called them, and it was just pretty much, they're like, hey, we just need to get the RX numbers off your prescription so we can call the doctor, the pharmacy, make sure it's you. Once that's done, then within 24 hours we'll give your work send them an email saying you're clear to go. So today's Monday, the 29th. So I think what my schedule is, I was supposed to work today, tomorrow, off Wednesday, Thursday, then work Friday, Saturday, something like that. So within 24 hours, they should get that email. I should hopefully be back at work on Friday, which is good. It's finally gonna go back to work. You know what I mean? Well, the purpose of this video though has something kind of to do with what I'm going through right now, as far as like the disability, because I'm on disability. Well, I was on disability at the beginning of this month. I got my last disability check. So for people that don't know how disability works, when you go into disability, when you're working, you're paying into your disability. You're paying into it, and so it's like an account, and that money just sits in there. So if something happens, you have to go on disability, that money's there, and then it depends on how much is in there, of how much you're going to get, and there's a max that you can get every single month. I was getting $3,600 a month. I think the max you can get was like $4,000. If I'm not mistaken, it's like $4,000 a month. That's the max you can get on disability. No matter how much money you have, it has to be enough to pay for a whole year. But just say, for instance, you had, $100,000. Just say, for instance, $100,000, and in disability. Just say, for instance, there was like $100,000 in there. But the max you can get every month is $4,000. So what happens is you get $4,000 a month. So that equals up to, let me see, $48,000 a year. That's what you get. You can only be on disability for 1 year. So you get you'll get a total of $48,000 a year, because you get $4,000 a month. After that, you can get an extension. After the year, if there's still money, because if you had $100,000, there's still what would be like $52,000 left in there. So you can get an extension for, I think, up to 6 months, because you still have money in there. And so boom, they'll give you the extension. You keep collecting your $4,000 a month until the extension is done, and then you can't get no more. It is what it is. You'll still have money in there, but you can only get the extension, I think, for 6 months. They might even give you 2, I'm not sure, but I didn't have that much money in there. I had enough that was going to last me. I went on disability in December of 2022, and then I had enough to go all the way to January 2023. No, January 2024. So I was getting, like I said, I was getting $3,600 a month. There was no more money left in there. It was all used up. And so they cut you off disability. That's it. You get nothing. You can go on state. You can go on state disability or SSI, Social Security. You can go on Social Security insurance or Social Security disability. They don't pay shit. They pay like $1,000. Don't pay $1,400. But the thing is, there's also like, because I went through. This video is mainly for people that are like, say for instance, you get hurt at work. See, I wasn't hurt at work. That's why I went on disability. But when you get hurt at work, you go on workers' comp. So this video is kind of like for people that also that go to workers' comp or unemployment. Unemployment don't pay shit either. It pays like a third or some shit like that. Not even a third. I don't know. They don't pay shit. But anyways, just for guys that are going like on workers' comp, and is it worth to go on workers' comp? Because people think for some reason that they're going to get rich off workers' comp, and that's not necessarily the truth. And the reason why is because I've been on workers' comp also. I've been on disability. I've been on workers' comp. I've been on unemployment. Disability pays the most. Workers' comp pays the second, and then unemployment pays the third. But just say, okay, well, I was working for a company and I got hurt. I got hurt at work. I was getting into my truck in the morning, and when I lifted my leg to step into the truck, my knee popped. It was like a popping, like it felt like a rubber band snapped inside my knee. And so I went to the office. I limped up into the office, and I told, hey, I just hurt my knee right now. Something popped in there. So they sent me to the clinic, and they put me on light duty. They wanted to do some tests and shit. So they did X-rays. All this bullshit. I was on light duty. Turns out that I had a torn lateral and torn meniscus tendons in my knee, in my right knee. So what happens was they put me on light duty at work, and then I was working in the office. I became a dispatcher then, and also did claims for the company. I started doing claims for the company. So I'm working in the office now, and I'm on light, but that was our light duty. I couldn't go out and drive no more. I couldn't work the dock, so I had to work in the office, it was a fun time. It was a good experience working in there. I got a lot of experience doing that job. That time me getting injured gave me experience in other things as far as the trucking industry, the warehousing part, not the warehousing part, but the cross docking and shit like that. You know, and dispatching and claims. I did claims for a long time. But I learned it there while I was on when I was on light duty. So anyway, I go to the doctors and shit like that. They're doing all their tests. I'm going like seeing a doctor for like physical therapy and shit. He tells me eventually within like 6 months, he's like, hey, you know, you're gonna have to have surgery. So we're gonna do surgery on your knee and repair the damage. Okay, so but it took months. I think I was on light duty for probably like 6 or 7 months. Okay, I'm in the office working. Finally, they get this approval for me to go have surgery. So I go and have the surgery like 6-7 months later, and then I go to they put me through physical therapy too. So after work I go to physical therapy, and I was doing that for a while. And then when it was time for the doctor to see me again to see how I was doing, if I was progressing, if my knee was better, the doctor, it was I think in maybe like November. No, I terminated in November, so September maybe. In September of 2007, the doctors checking me, just X-rays, scans, whatever the fuck they were doing. They did some scans on me and shit with contrast and all this bullshit. And he was like, you know what? It's because he kept saying, how's it feeling? I said, it still hurts. It still hurts. It's still the issue with my knee. Okay, so they did all these scans and shit. Okay, yeah, we have to do another surgery on you. Okay, so I take that paperwork back to my job. They're like, okay, no problem. So I got injured in 2006, November 2006. So now we're in September. So September, October, and then November comes up. And with workman's comp and light duty at your job, I don't know about other states, but here in California, they could fire you after a year. They don't have to keep you on light duty. If you can't go back to your full-time duties, they can let you go. They can also go ahead and let you stay on light duty and just go do what you have to go through and shit, and that's cool. But they don't have to. They can let you go. So November was coming up, and it was like, I'm gonna say it was November 7th is when my date to go back to full duty was. But I could not go back to full duty because in January is when I was doing my next surgery. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me the paperwork so I can give it to my boss, who at the time was a friend of mine. I said, here, check it out. Here's my paperwork. I cannot go back to full duty in November 7th. I got it in January. I'm having my second surgery, and then I got to go to physical therapy, all that shit like that, and see how it turns out. I said, what's going to happen? He's like, well, the company has the right to let you go after a year. If you don't return back to work after 1 year, they can let you go. So he's like, so but at November 7th, they might let you go, but I'm gonna contact HR over in Waco, Texas, and see if I can keep you as on light duty. So I said, all right, cool. So I think it was like November 5th. I hit him up again. I said, hey, did you talk to me? He's like, no, I hit him up. I'm gonna hit him up. I'll hit him up tomorrow, and let him know that I want to keep you. That I want to keep you on light duty, keep you here in the office because you're doing a good job here. Because I was dispatching at the time, which they could have just given me the dispatching job. You know what I mean? I wasn't a spare. It was me and a couple other people that were dispatchers there. So they could have kept me there as a dispatcher instead of saying, okay, you know what? Just make him a dispatcher. You don't have to go back to the truck. And that could have been like my full-time, full-duty job, a dispatcher. And then if I ever want to go back to the truck later on, if everything was clear later on, then I can go back and do that. So the day of November 7th, I go to work, and my homie that was my boss, he's not there. He took the day off. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I walk into the office, I'm getting ready to do my thing, and the assistant terminal manager comes. I think give me an envelope with my name on it. He said, hey, sorry bro, but this is your last checks right here. You can't work no more. And I was like, what the fuck? He was supposed to take care of this. He's like, yeah. He goes, I don't know. He didn't do it. So the company sent your last checks. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck, whatever, dude. So I left. They fired me, so I left. But I went on. As soon as I did that, I went and got me an attorney. Okay, so I went and got me an attorney to sue them for my disabilities, right? I was getting workman's comp. I think I was getting workman's comp. No, I think I was getting workman's comp. Or I was getting workman's comp or unemployment. I don't think it was disability. But anyways. Yeah, I think it was workman's comp because I was able to. Workman's comp, you can get it for 2 years. No, it was disability. I think I was getting disability, but anyway, I was getting it for. So I was working. No, it was 2 years. I'm sorry, it was 2 years. I was on for 2 years because I was out of work for 3. I was out of work for 2 years. I worked as a dispatcher and the claims for 1 year at work. Then 2 years I was out of work. So I was getting disability, workman's comp. Getting workman's comp. The attorney got all this shit set up for me and all that. And after, that's what I'm fucking up. I was getting disability for the first year. Okay, I was getting disability first year. This is what happened. I was getting disability the first year. And they were paying me out like $12.95 every 2 weeks. $12.95 every 2 weeks. And then, so I was okay because I was with my ex-wife at the time. She had a good job, so we were okay. We were doing pretty good still. After 1 year, that money stopped because I ran out of the disability. Okay. So then I called my attorney. Before I was about to run, I called my attorney and say, hey, what am I going to do? Because this case is still going on. It's been a fucking year already. And we ain't heard shit about it yet. So what's going on? He goes, well, we should be getting some answers soon. You know, there's a lot of cases out there, yada yada yada. Then he says, he's like, what I can do, and this is how I found out how crooked shit was. I can get you, what do you call it? Advancements on your settlement, which there was no fucking settlement. Okay, there was no settlement. There was no court. I didn't go to court. Nothing. He was doing like court shit, but there was no settlement. There was no agreement to nothing. I never heard nothing about no money, nothing. He's like, I can get you advancements on your settlement. So he already knew that I was gonna win this case. So I'm thinking, like, how? And I told him, how are you gonna get that? And he goes, this is the way it works. So I said, okay. So boom, they started giving me advancements. I think every month or some shit like that. I was getting a check. So again, I was good, but that's for the second year now that I'm not working. So for a year, I'm getting these fucking advancements, right? And I'm thinking, so he's like, you're gonna win this case, you know what I mean? I'm thinking there's gonna be big fucking money involved here, right? So they give me these fucking advancements, shit. I'm thinking like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get paid, you know what I mean? Because he's already saying I'm gonna win this case. And finally, in the end, a year later, he's like, we got a settlement. I'll get back with you. They want to settle with this, and that. This is what the settlement's gonna be. And I'm like, and they're like, are you cool with it? So I'm thinking to myself like, that's as far as they're gonna go. He's like, that's it. There's no more. That's it. This is what it's gonna be, you know. So I'm like, fuck, whatever. Okay, I guess yeah, I'll take it. But he didn't tell me why why it was going to be that amount. I found out later on. So it turned out to be like $25,000, some shit like that. 25 grand. They were going to settle. They were going to settle it at $25,000, something like that. So I'm like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'll get that 25 grand, put that shit in the bank, go give me a job. I'll have money set. I'll be good. You know what I mean? Like 25 grand is still a decent amount of money. You can go buy a car. Put good money down on a new car and I'll be all right, you know. And but that's not what happened. It turns out that unless you're really fucking injured, like you have like mental damage, you're missing limbs, you're gonna constantly be need medical attention, you know, as you get older and shit like that. You're not gonna get a lot of money from disability. It's on a scale. It's pretty much like, okay, you damage your tendons in your arm, or you damage your elbow. This is gonna be 15 grand. My right knee, torn lateral, torn meniscus, $25,000. Whatever. All these injuries, it's on a scale. Oh, this is what this is worth. This is what this is worth. This is what this is worth. Okay? So that's the way it works. You can't argue it. That injury that I had was only worth $25,000. Right? So I'm thinking like, okay, I'll get 25 grand. Fuck it. Then my attorney says, okay, I'll hit you up in a couple days to get you a check and all that shit. Okay, whatever. So then he called me up. He's like, okay, we got everything settled. Blah blah blah. Here's what the settlement is: $25,000 with our fees, with your advancements. Blah 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 blah. You're gonna get a check for $1,200. And I was like, what? $1,200? He's like, yeah. I said, what the fuck happened to 25? He's like, okay, well, we get paid. You got all the advancements for a year, so you got most of that money already. And that $1,200 is what's left over of that money of yours after we take our fees. This is what's left over after all the money that we gave you. So we pretty much gave you, you know, like whatever it is, like $18,000 or whatever the fuck it was for a whole year. We gave it to you during the year. That's your advancements. So I'm like, so at the end of the day, I ended up getting a check for $1,200 after 3 fucking years. 3 years, I got a check for $18,000. I mean, $1,200 for $1,200. It wasn't shit. And so my advice to people is, if you get injured at work, just deal with the bullshit. Go to your physical therapy and try to get your ass back to work. Because if it's not something that's gonna fucking have you fucking bedridden shit the rest of your life, you lose a fucking limb, an ear, or ear damage forever, and shit like that, or eye damage, where you're gonna get paid decent money, it's best just to go back to work. Don't fuck with the disability, the workman's comp shit and all that, because they don't pay nothing. And at the end of the day, the lawyers are gonna suck their money out, and then they'll get you advancements. If you have an attorney telling you he can get you advancements, and you've never talked to this dude at all about settlements, about how much it's gonna be money wise, none of that stuff, but he tells you straight up, oh yeah, you know what, disability's not paying you anymore, don't worry about it, I can get you your advancements. Know that you're on that fucking scale. You're on one of them scales, and they're gonna fuck you over at the end. You're gonna get your money, but you're gonna get it periodically. It's just, all you're gonna do is be able to survive every single month. That's it. That's what they're gonna give you, enough to survive every single month until this shit's over, and then whatever's left over, they're gonna give to you, because they're gonna, of course, at $25,000, they're taking out their cut, which, like I said, it could have been like fucking $8,000 or whatever it was that he took, and then the rest is mine. But then I got an advancements, so it's not even worth it. To go on workman's comp and all that shit is not worth it. You get injured at work, you fucking break your leg or anything like that, and there's people out there that they don't know. I know guys like that. I know a fucking guy that sued his company twice, two different companies twice, and each time, after everything was all said and done, he'd end up like fucking $15,000, but he would lose like 3 years of not working. You see, 3 years not working, they end up with like 15 grand or 10 grand. I think one was 15, one was 10, and one was 15. Okay, so the first time he was out of work for like almost 3 years, he was not working this shit for almost 3 years. Ended up with like $15,000, and then what does he do? He goes and buys a fucking $10,000 car, you know, and then he had $5,000 left over. But how long is $5,000 gonna last you? If you work those 3 fucking years, if you just say, hey, fuck it, you know, let me go on light duty, get my shit together, go back to the doctors, get released again, come back to full duty, you're gonna make more money. You know what I mean? So if you're making, you know, just say as a truck driver, as a union truck driver, you're making close to 6 figures a year or 6 figures a year. Just say you're making $100,000 a year as a truck driver, a union truck driver. Would you rather make that, or would you rather make, you know, $20,000 in a year? You know what I mean? So it's not worth it unless you are going to really get paid, and that means you have to be almost permanently fucking injured the rest of your life. It's not worth it. It's better just to go and suck the shit up, go to the doctors, get your shit done, do your physical therapy, and go back to work, because everything that's going is on a scale, and a lot of people don't know that. It's like a fucking, like a book with all this shit in it, whatever. It just tells you what this is worth, what this is worth, this kind of neck injury, this kind of back injury, all this shit is it's all on a scale. It tells you what you're gonna get, what you're gonna get settled out, and there's nothing you can do. You can't argue that shit. That's what it is. So for me, anytime that I got hurt at work after that, I would just do what I gotta do. I got hurt. I tell my boss, hey, I got hurt. Okay, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Doctor puts me out for like 2-3 weeks. Come back, do my thing. Okay, you're good. Go back to work. Boom, and then go back to full duty. You know, I'll take the 3 weeks off, get paid for 2 of them, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's worth it to do it that way than to go ahead and try to do this workman's comp shit and try to scam companies, because you're not going to be able to. They're not going to argue that point. You know what I mean? It's written down what you're going to get. They already know. They already know. Like I said, if your attorney comes to you saying, "Oh, okay, hey, I'll get you an advancement," know that, and he never talked to you about money before. No, he's going off a fucking scale. He already knows what you're gonna get paid. They're just dragging this shit on. They drag it on because all these motherfuckers are in cahoots. My doctor has his doctors, the company doctors have their doctors, and then, you know, my lawyer sends me to his doctor, and then every time he sends me, they're getting paid. They're getting paid money. The money's exchanging hands. It's not fucking free. He's getting money for a referral. He's getting money for fucking doing doing the examinations and all that shit on me. So they're both making money. So they're gonna keep doing that because they want to keep dragging it on, because they're getting paid. Everybody's getting fucking paid. They're not getting paid from me at that point. They're getting paid from each other, from different companies. You know what I mean? The company's doctor's getting paid for the company. You know what I mean? The pharmacy, they're getting paid because they're filling prescriptions. You know what I mean? My lawyer's sending me to his doctor, which his doctor kicked him in with a little bit of money for sending me over there. This guy's getting paid for taking care of me. You see what I mean? From the state or whatever it is going to be that's paying them. So everybody's getting paid. So they drag that shit on. They don't want to get you off that. They want to keep doing it so they can make more and more money. And then at the end, they go to your settlement. Okay, we got to settle now. Fuck, it's been already a year. Let's just get this shit over with. We're not gonna make a lot of money off this guy, but hey, let's get it all said and done now. So then finally say, okay, this is what your settlement's be, $25,000. This is what you get. We gave you advancements. You have to pay your lawyer. Now you're only getting $1,200. That's it. You're done. And that's the way that shit works. So it's not worth it. It's not worth it to go on workers' comp and all that bullshit, unless you're gonna be dealing with this shit for the rest of your life. Go ahead and just do your thing. Go back to work. Unemployment. I've done that shit too. I think unemployment. You think I want to see you can get paid for 2 years of unemployment here in California, but I don't pay nothing. I think I pay like maybe it's a quarter of what you were making. You know what I mean? I think at one point I was on unemployment. I was getting like $400 a week, $425 a week. Take home $425 a week. That was nothing. You know what I mean? That's what, $1,600 a week. I mean a month. Can't live out that. You know what I mean? So you ain't getting shit. When I was already making like, I don't know, I was making like $2,300 every 2 weeks or some shit like that. Then you go down to making like what, $850 every 2 weeks. So it's like way less. You're not getting as much. So it's not even worth it. Like there's people that are willing to sit on unemployment. Like fuck it. It's like it's free money. It's like you're not gonna get that much though. You might as well quit being lazy and just go back to work. So I've always tried to avoid those things: the disability, the workers' comp, the unemployment. I've always tried to avoid it because they're kind of like scamming. They're scamming you. You know what I mean? Because everybody's making money off of you. You know, you're like a fucking money machine to them. And so my opinion is if with a sickness like this, it's something different. With cancer, it's something different. What I have now is just totally different. But when it comes to like petty shit, or you think that you're gonna get rich, you think that you're gonna get a lot of money for like motherfuckers that do that slip and fall shit, Mark, and the Target. You're a ghetto motherfucker. You do shit like that. Yeah. Okay, my friend's wife did that shit. I think like 2 or 3 times in like Kmart and I think Mervyn's, when Mervyn's was around. She did it in Kmart. She did it in Mervyn's. He walked in, or somebody had somebody walk in there as they were walking by in the pickle aisle, spilled a jar of pickles in there. Somebody called, hey, there's spilled pickles in the aisle, whatever, blah, blah. Boom, she goes there, fucking slips in this pickle juice and shit, and ends up getting a settlement. But she was out of work. You know what I mean? She had to go out of work on the disability. In the end, she really didn't get nothing because she was getting advancement and shit on it. She was getting she was getting disability, plus then she started getting advancement. In the end, she hardly get anything, like a couple grand. And so it's not worth it. It's really not worth it to do all that shit. It's best that you just keep your job and go ahead and just get back to work. And like me right now, that's why I'm fucking fighting right now to go back to work. Everything now should be settled. I've been waiting for fucking almost 3 weeks now, so it should be settled. All I had to do was call the doctors today, and they were like, hey, we just need to confirm that this is your prescription. So give us the RX number, give us the pharmacy's phone number. We're going to call them. If everything's good, you're clear to go back to work. Within 24 hours, we'll get a hold of your company, and you're clear. So that's all I'm waiting for now. I mean, I need to get the fuck back to work, you know. Like I've said in other videos, things usually will happen for me right when it needs to happen. You know what I mean? Like I was telling my boss, my partner Mark, on the phone, like, Dave, bro, it's happening right now. I get the email today. I call the doctor's office. They said, okay, this is what we need. I gave them the numbers. I gave them the phone number to the pharmacy. They were to call them, straighten everything out. You have a clear drug test. You're good. Okay, so they're like, so sometime this week they'll call you to go back to work. I said, I'm on my last fucking dollars right now. I mean, I'm to the point where I think that I'm gonna have to fucking, if I can't go back to work this week, I have to call my dad and be like, hey, Pop, let me borrow some money and shit, man. I'm still waiting to go back to work, but let me borrow some money. Because it's gone. It's gone. Like I told everybody before in other videos, this fucking cancer has been a financial burden on me. And I've had so many people come and help me. They have helped me and my wife tremendously. I don't have big ass bills anymore because the help that people have helped me during this whole fucking year. You know what I mean? So if anybody thinks like, well, where did the money go? Well, yeah, I had bills that I had to pay. I had to pay my bills, and just say for instance, I had my bills. Just say for instance, my bills like $5,000 a month, which I'm just throwing a number out there. That's not what they are, but if it was $5,000 a month, I need to pay down those fucking bills. So that way my bills are like $2,000 a month. You know what I mean? And then I know that I'm okay now. I can survive off paying my bills at $2,000 a month. I'm good with my wife's money and my disability. I was fine. You know what I mean? But it was the help from the community, from the fucking biker community, and just from strangers that donated and did all these things on the GoFundMe's and the raffles and all these fucking things, the events that people were throwing for me and shit like that, and the money that was put out there for me and my wife. That shit took care of me and my wife and helped to take care of those fucking bills. So we really appreciate that. You guys, the people that did that shit have done more for me than the disability, than unemployment, than workers' comp has ever done. The motherfucking, especially the biker community, has done more for me and my wife than any other fucking organization or like disability has ever done for me. You know what I mean? So, but now it's like, okay, I'm down to my last fucking dollars. It's like I need to get my ass back to work now. I'm not that, I have to. There's no other fucking choice. I don't give up, and I don't feel sick. That's a good thing. I came, like I said, 25th chemo. I'm fine. I don't feel sick. The other day, I finally fucking got some sleep. I woke up yesterday feeling great, but I had to do chemo again today. So I'm gonna start getting tired again. But hopefully, I'll start to build up my stamina and all that shit by going to work, by not being in the house. I'll be outside not in the sun. I'll be in a work truck, in a yard truck, and the sun's, I'm still outside and getting the fresh air and all that shit. I'm moving around. It'll start to build me back up again, and then maybe I won't be so tired, or maybe it'll help me out with sleep too. You know what I mean? The first couple of days going back to work, I already know I'm gonna be fucking dead ass tired when I get home. I'll get out at 4:30. I won't get home till like 5 o'clock. I'll probably eat me something real quick, and boom, I'm hitting the fucking bed by like 6:30 because I'll be so tired. And then I have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So I get my fucking sleep, get over to work, and just continue doing my thing, making that money and shit. You know what I mean? So, but things are happening right now, right when I need it. The only thing that can fuck that up is, well, there's really nothing to really fuck it up. But in my mind, I always think that way. Like, okay, what could happen right now? What could happen right now? And it's like, well, these are just my prescriptions. So I gave them the RX numbers. How would I have them fucking RX numbers? But it's always something. Maybe something, there'll be like a hiccup, like, oh, this bitch wrote down the wrong fucking number. And then she has to call me back tomorrow. Hey, well, I got the wrong number. Can you give me the number again? And then start that fucking process of calling them and verifying over again. So it's not 24 hours, now it's 48 hours. I think of little things like that. Like, okay, what am I going to do now? But I'm on my last fucking leg right now. But it's okay. Like I said, everything will happen when it's supposed to happen. It always has been like that my whole life. When things get really fucking bad and I'm at the fucking very edge, something will come along. Something will happen. I'll just sit there and think about it. Okay, I try to figure out how can I maneuver? What am I going to do? If this doesn't work, I got to go this way. If this doesn't work, I got to go this way. And so that's where I'm in that mood. I'm in that mode right now. I've been in that mode right now for the last few weeks. Okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? And now I'm looking at my bank. I'm like, God damn. My wife just did her taxes. She got a good tax return this year. Usually we get a tax return within a week. We didn't get it like that this time. But she called and they said it takes up to 21 days to get the return. You know what I mean? But, hopefully if it comes this week, then boom, I'm completely in the clear again. And then boom, I start work this week. there it goes. That happens. You know what I mean? I just believe that things happen when they're supposed to. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Again, this video is more about people that think they're gonna get paid off shit. You know what I mean? I'm not really getting much off this whole having cancer and being a disability. I'm not getting no kind of lawsuit. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. I can't sue nobody because I didn't get hurt at work, and I wouldn't do it unless, see, something like that. If I got cancer from work-related injury, boom, yeah, okay, now I'm gonna sue the company for that. But that's not what happened. I didn't get cancer from my job. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit that's going to get you paid. That's the kind of shit that might get you millions of dollars. That is not that. I don't think that shit's on that fucking scale. Like, okay, shit, you got esophageal cancer, and they can prove that it's from your job, and that, you know what I mean, this chemical that you work around gives you esophageal cancer. Okay, then this work, like, you know, $7-8 million, whatever the fuck it is. I don't think there's a scale for it. That's when you get these other lawyers that come in and start fighting the company and fighting the corporations and shit like that. And that's when it takes years to get those kind of settlements done and shit. But it's gonna be usually in the fucking millions because you have cancer. You might not even fucking live long enough to collect that money. You know what I mean? So it's no big deal. Yeah, give this motherfucker $8 million. We'll drag this shit on for the next fucking 5-6 years. He's probably gonna die in the process. You know what I mean? So that's where you're talking about where there's big money. But in anything other than that, you're not gonna get no big money. Take your lazy ass back to work. I was being lazy at that time. I probably could have fucking just, you know, toughed it out and went back to work and said, fuck it, you know what I mean? Go to work with a little bit of pain. But I was like, nah, fuck that. Because I always think I was gonna get paid. And it turns out it wasn't like that. And I actually fucked myself over by doing that shit. So anybody that's doing that, anybody that's thinking about doing that kind of shit, just know that you're screwing yourself over. You're not screwing the company over because they'll fill your spot by tomorrow. You're screwing yourself over because you're going to lose like $60,000 from that year because you're only going to get like maybe 30, 20. You could have worked the whole fucking year and make close to $100,000. But no, you want to be lazy, sit at home and collect your fucking money. It doesn't work that way. So anyways, with that being said, hope you like the video. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And then when you do that, hit all so you're notified on all videos that I drop. I appreciate you guys. Let you guys know the day or so when I go back to work and shit. And then I'll be doing also videos about how shit is at work and what I'm going through and how I'm trying to get back into the fucking groove of things. That's going to be some of my videos coming out pretty soon. How I'm getting into the groove of things. And plus, I will have a lot of time off still. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be only working 4/12s. And so I wish I had my phone. I can kind of give you a breakdown of my schedule, but I left my phone in the house. But like I said, you know, I work on Monday and Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday. Work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then off Monday, Tuesday. Some shit like that. Or off Tuesday, Wednesday. And then after 3 weeks, after the third week, I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days. Then it starts all over again. Rotating shifts. 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the afternoon. So I'll have a lot of time off. My boy next door, like my boy Ruben, he used to have this shift, but he was working the night shift. 4:30 in the afternoon to 4:30 in the morning. And he loved it. Because he had so many fucking days off. He could plan shit. Like I can plan things now. If I want to do something with my wife, I can make a plan and say, hey, check it out. In 2 weeks, I got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So why don't you take Friday off that week? We'll leave Thursday night, go somewhere, we'll stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come back Sunday. I don't have to be back work until Monday, 4:30 in the morning. So it's like having a fucking vacation every 3 weeks if I wanted it. If my wife does have a lot of time off. So it gives me an opportunity to do things. It helps me. It's like, again, it's going to help me get back into the fucking thing, get back into the game, get my wind up again and start doing things, shit, and hopefully have way more fucking energy than I've had. You know what I mean? So anyways, I feel like I see, it seems like I feel, or you could probably see that I feel pretty good. For 25 fucking sessions of chemotherapy and immunotherapy, I feel pretty fucking good. I'm up right now. And I'm kind of hungry. Every time I do chemotherapy, I get hungry. But anyways, like I said, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll be talking to you guys later.